What's going on, guys? It is DigiWatchTCG coming to you with another Market Watch video. Now today I wanted to go over a couple of cards because we just had our Card of Magic regional yesterday, and I haven't not seen the exact results, but I do know that Rapidmon Hybrid made it to the top. It is the top deck, I would say, right now. Able to get rid of a lot of other decks. It won a regional over in the card market regionals a couple of weeks ago, and yesterday it was just so abundant. I was actually playing Black or Greymon, which we're going to cover a couple of cards. Just take a quick look at those, but everything else here is going to be kind of focused on what the top tier deck was and kind of some of the fallout. I'm going to finish up today with a little bit of a BT8 review. Now that pre-sales are over, we can kind of see where the market is settled, and then we're going to take a look at, as I like to finish, give you a little memory boost at the end. With that said, please like and subscribe and leave a comment with your thoughts below and what you like to see in the future. So starting off, we have Patamon over here. So if you don't know, the Rapidmon strategy is DP reduction, and Patamon over here has the ability of when an opponent's Digimon is deleted, by dropping it to 0 DP, gain 1 memory. We could see that over time it's actually come down a bit. It is right now selling at about $5.25, $6, $6.50. So about $6.50 mark over here. It was down for quite a while. I actually got these for, I think it was right about here, about the $1.50 mark. So I'm glad my investment paid off. I did unfortunately only get 3, not 4 of these. I should have gotten a play set, but this Patamon is going up. Now, if you do look at the other Patamons, just real quickly, we can see that the other ones are even definitely more expensive. The one you want to go for is definitely this one. Make sure you're picking the right Patamon. Is the starter deck 3 Patamon. The store champion is going for 34. The store participant is 15. And then, like I said, the regular version is about $5 to $6, going up into 7. I think later this week or possibly next week, if Rapidmon is still one of the best decks, then we will see this rise even further. Keep in mind this is based on a tournament that did not allow starter decks, so we don't really know where this falls if you're including the Mastamon and the Imperialdramon starter decks. Going into the next card over here, look at Salamon. So Salamon was another component of the deck. Now, this is just the alternate art. This is the official Tournament Pack 3, Volume 3 pack. I kind of brought both of these out here, so you're going to see a little bit of a difference. So it's about $3 if you include the shipping. I always like to look at where the shipping is included, just so you can see this. So like I would say probably about $3. If you go down a little bit more, that has the shipping included. This person puts it at $7.50. I would pick up your playset now if you're looking to play this. It's played at about 2 to 4 copies depending on your build. So that is one over here. But if you are a little bit more budget, this is the one that you can get from the release. Now keep in mind there are less in circulation over here, so I would say $2, $1.50 is definitely where this is at. And if you don't have these, you should pick them up now. Because this deck was also using the hybrid package, and I just want to take a look here. So as we can see, the prices are trending up. We have one seller here for 26, but it is a $5 shipping, so it pushes it to about $30. So these are consistently selling about $30 to $32 per. It dropped definitely a lot since mid-March, about $50. And I would honestly, if you are looking to fully foil out your deck, to pick up their pre-releases now, personally, because if Rapidmon becomes the best deck of the format and you want to max rarity this deck, and it doesn't seem that this deck is going to change too much. If we get EX2 and then we get BT9, it's not going to change too much. It is still a strong security build, and that's kind of what won it today. It was, or yesterday, was a build that was really focused on DP reduction and just killing off your opponent's cards. I wanted to take a look at Cody. Now, again, we're going to kind of go over this again a little bit toward the end of like a total set review. But we see Cody here kind of dip all the way down from its initial hype. So we see it being about $5. Then it kind of actually went foil being like $9 over here. And then sticking to $5, $6 over here. Well, I don't know. This one it's pretty easy to get as a common. This is the box topper version. I've actually ended up pulling 2 of these. I think that has the potential to go up if Cody does see much more play. Keep in mind that the second effect here is not color specific. You just need a dual color Digimon to use the Cody DP reduction effect of 2000. For if you think about this, compare it to like the TK Kari from the previous sets. This is so much better. First off, you gain one memory, so yes, you may lose one memory from the TK Kari, but keep in mind you also had to fulfill the condition of having lower security in yours than your opponent. This just requires you to have a yellow Digimon in your before you start your turn or before your main phase, to gain one memory, and also 2000 DP reducing with a dual color Digimon. Now that we have them in the game and we're going to be getting more, this is going to see so much more play, and one less cost is also really good. But I will say there is a weakness to this, which I'll get to in a bit. Then we take a look over, basically our big boy here is Rapidmon. Now, as we can see, since yesterday, we've definitely seen quite a few listings and buyouts. So it was around the $3 mark. Well, let's actually go even further down. Let's take a look here. So a lot of people picked this up for pretty much about $8. I think this was just anticipation for the tournament. And then now people are trying to list them, trying to get rid of them now that the tournament's over. I think a lot of people are thinking that this is going to kind of have the opposite effect. You know, like we played our regional, we got our invite. We're not going to play this deck anymore because EX2 will come out, and so that's really it. Like now I'm just going to have fun. For the rest of the time, we have BT8 until we get BT EX2 and BT9. Because our format's definitely going to change by the time we get the championships of the next year. But right now it's going for about $9 to $10 included, and I wouldn't be surprised if it kind of stays at that $10 mark. But the card I will say is definitely going up is the alternate art of this card. Now, I will say my pre-release game was very good for me because I ended up pulling 2 of these, so I have a half play set of this. But it definitely spiked initially. So let's take a look at where it was about a week ago. So we're going to go back in time a little bit. This was about the pre-release at about May 22nd, and it was about $45, $46, $45, $50. This is, again, keep in mind all pre-release prices. Then for our actual release date was $5/27, and then it kind of dropped when more were coming on the market, and has settled pretty much around the $40 mark. Now, do I think this is going to go up? I think it's going to have a slow, probably go up to the $50 mark, if I'm being fully honest. I think that people who find that this is going to be still consistent, even against like Imperialdramon and Mastamon decks, are going to want to fully bring out their deck, try to pull them, and not have to spend $40. Like, keep in mind, if you are trying to pull this alt art and you're going to buy a box, you know, unless you're trying to get other commons and stuff, you might as well just buy 2 copies because that is $80 right there. And I would get that to your playset if you're looking to play this as your most competitive deck. Going into some other cards, Ophanimon Fall Down Mode over here. Really easy to pick up. It's played in the yellow hybrid as one of the boss monsters. It's also used in yellow purple hybrid decks or things like that. We haven't seen too many of those, but $4 or $5 is pretty affordable if you ask me. For $20, you're getting a playset. I think that's really good. Then we have the Ophanimon, the alternate art. Kind of, again, if you're looking at what won the most recent regional and as well as the card market regional a few weeks ago, it is the alternate, the Ophanimon Fall Down Mode. So I think this is a good investment to have. I think it's a nice artwork as well. I always like to appreciate this artwork. And although I'm not a huge fan of the deck myself, although I did build the deck to test it out, I do think that this is a really good card to pick up. Now, shifting gears and looking at some other cards, just kind of seeing where some things are at. We are looking at Vmon over here. This is the Jamming Vmon. This is the one, I think it was like if you got to 128, then this is the copy you got. It is holding its price pretty much about a 170. It's about 10 listings, which makes sense because I think about maybe 50% of people are going to hold on to this, and the other half are going to try to sell this off and try to make a good amount of money. You know, if you enter a tournament for $30 or whatever the cost is, and then you you basically make $140 from that. That's a good buy if you ask me. especially if you're not like playing blue, if you don't really like this kind of Vmon. Then we have the first year. So unfortunately, it went back up. I always like to go back to it. It is my favorite Digimon. I actually was able to, by luck, pull in a couple of like stores gave like 1 year anniversary as like a winner, kind of like they didn't have winners pack, so they would give that, and I ended up pulling like a Vmon over here for my Altart. So I'm very happy I have an actual copy of this. Now I didn't need to buy it, but if you weren't as lucky as me, well, it's $40-$50 again. It was down. I was actually very close to contemplating. Let me see where it was at, because I did see it down quite a bit. So this was earlier in the month. Yeah, so it was down around this one over here, the 16th, definitely the one I was like looking at. Yeah, I was like that one listing of 25, and then it kind of like jumped back up to 33, but now we're going back up because we have the starter decks and we have Armor Rush, and Vmon's going to see a lot more play. We're going to take a look at the other ones though too. So this is the New Awakening pre-release card. This skyrocket to the moon over here, and so as we can see here, it's $35. This was actually a very hard one to pull, in all fairness. Even like I went to, I think, 3 different pre-releases at different stores, and with all 3 of those pre-releases, I only was able to get 1 copy of it, and no one even had others for trade. Like, I mean, like unless they like just took it and was like, yeah, I don't even want to put this out in the air here. But yeah, this is not, there's no picture yet, but it is a really really cool artwork, especially if you're playing stuff like Armor Rush. Going on to our next card over here, we have the other jamming Vmon, the non-anniversary version, and we do see it kind of go out to about $17-$18. Yeah, this was at 12 a few weeks ago, so it is jumping up. And again, it is because of BT8. Now that people are playing the decks, they have the decks. It's they're scrambling to get these Vmons. Like I now said, I have 6 copies total of both types of Vmons, of the jamming Vmon. So I chose not to ever get rid of them. I stopped playing the first Imperial from 1.5. I actually put all my Vmons like to the side, like didn't even bring them to the store. I was like, I'm not even going to advertise I have these. And then I was lucky to hear that there was support coming out at one point. So very lucky to see that Vmon is still doing well, but unfortunately it is close to that $20 mark, and unfortunately I don't see this coming down anytime soon. We also look at the Vmon here having a price increase to about $5 a piece. EX was not an opened to my Classic Collection was not an opened set to like in a total extent. It has Machine Shimon. It has some Vmon stuff from Metal Garurumon stuff. I would say the only other thing, I actually want to take a quick look at something after I speak about this Vmon, but yeah, it was like cents, and now it's $5. So that's also because it's played in almost every armor or Imperial Dramon deck. But if we go back here, I just wanted to take a quick look at one of the cards there, and yeah. So this is not really seeing too much movement. The Metal Greymon alternate art, $30 over here, 13 listings. It did go down, luckily. So it was $40 a couple weeks ago. Then it went to 26, and then it went back to 30. So I think 30 is actually going to be where it sticks. Not really, nothing else really moving other than like the Analog Youth on here. But yeah, this Vmon is Vmon. Then we have now we're taking a look here at the starter decks. Now, we had been delayed for so long about the Imperial Dramon decks, and actually some of my even like local stores got delayed, so they don't even have these in stock. This is the reason why that the starter decks were not allowed in the recent tournament, because not everyone had access to the product. If you ask me, that was a little bit 50-50. I'm still a little like, well, it would have been a little different if Mastamons and Imperial Dramons were allowed. But I understand completely why they did it. They wanted to give everyone a fair shot. But if you were lucky enough to get it, I mean, it should be legal. But it's a tournament organizer who decides it, and I think they made a right call. Do I agree with it? Absolutely. But I'm still a little salty that we couldn't play this. But we see the market price here. It was 50 cents like a couple of weeks ago, and it is $4. I personally do not think you should pick this up. I think some people are listing these and saying, hey, you know what, there's a delay. People are going to be scrambling to get these. Well, you know what, just wait a couple of weeks, and or even like 1 or 2 weeks. For all you know, on Monday, Tuesday, you can go to your locals, you pick up an entire deck of this for $12 and pick up, even though it's going to be 2 copies of it, you get so much extra value in those sets. So getting 2 of those is $26, and you get like the Imperial Dramons, you get the Paladin mode. I mean, not Paladin mode. Sorry, the Pyodramons, all the other cards you need for that deck. So I really wouldn't scramble to get these unless this is the last piece that you need and you've bought singles and that's what you're getting. So for $4, for $16 for a play set, you don't need to get anything else. And like this guy has 77 copies, pretty much assume that he like opened up a bunch of boxes or bought in stock earlier on. Now going into a little bit more of my personal pick is Black War Greymon. So I really love this artwork. This is my personal favorite. There is a $5 copy online. I didn't open that one up because we're going to just take a quick look toward the end here of everything at New Awakening, just to kind of glance at the market there. But yeah, this was down. This was about $36. I know I bought one, traded for one about 2 days ago, and yeah, the Black War Greymon was $36. The reason this is still a tier 1 deck in my opinion. I played it. I went 4-3 in my matchups. I beat the only deck I really lost to hard was the Rapidmon deck, and I think I just might have just misplayed it because I haven't had as much practice. Only about maybe a week of practice with this, but maybe being able to Digivolve up to Ultimate in my raising would have been like better than just playing cards out and just doing it that way. Now that I see how well it can be played. Your opponent commits support cards to the board, you just tame or control them. That's really what you're doing with this. But I also didn't play as many Breath of the Gods as I should have, and I think I should have played a few more just to make sure my Black War Greymon would not get DP reduced. That was one of the things I was a little annoyed about. I think my opponent forgot a few things during my matches. I have to look back at my stream, but basically, like I know that a few times he was able to suspend my like Digimon and be able to swing over them, and I was like, how are you able to swing over them? Oh, they're DP reduced. Oh, and I totally forget that's under Breath of the Gods. But yeah, it's really good cards here. So that's for Black War Greymon here. So going into our next two, our Omnimon Zor. I just wanted to cover this slightly only because it was around 66, I think. Let me see if I remember. Yeah. So 67, 66 a few weeks ago, and it's been slowly going up, and I think it's because of their security control has been getting a lot of hype, especially with the Mastamon deck just being released, so people are wanting to get alt-art copies. Maybe that's the reason why. I'm not exactly certain. You can never be exactly certain with this kind of thing. I want to take a look at Omnimon here. I like to cover him from time to time. So we see in the latest sales, it was around 120, I think. Let's see where last time it was. So about end of last month was about 126, and then beginning of the month, let's see where it was, 130. So it was fluctuating a little bit, but it then went down to about $100, which it stayed on for about 2 weeks. And then we have if you notice, like our BT pre-release, it kind of just jumps back down. And I think that was because people were getting probably more product, wanted to try to move more copies of this. We do see 30 listings over here. Again, it's not the craziest card, but it is in less circulation. Maybe they announced, I don't know, if they do announce that there's going to be a reprint set, you can definitely say that this is going to go down. Although it may not have the BT1 stamp on it over here. But it is definitely iconic. Now, kind of finishing up the market watch here, we're going to take a look at two things here. I want to just briefly look at the market now, mainly looking at the alternate arts, but we see Rhydamon here is the alternate art, $53 as the #1 card. I 100% agree with this because not agree with the price, but agree with that it is number one, because what we see in BT7 was that the Dorumon had the same exact thing. I think this is not as good as Dorumon, but because you can play it and search for your Tamer Yuji, it definitely sees four copies for play. And if you're an X Antibody fan, keep in mind that it does get more support and does become like a top tier deck, like a tier 0 deck, honestly, in BT9. It gets a level 7 guy who has like an amazing effect of like, you think you like Digiburst 7 or something, where you send 7 to the bottom of your deck or something like that, and you gain memory at the end of your turn or something. I don't know, it's something like that. I have to look up the exact number. But we see Chimeramon over here holding its price about $46. That, I think it's because these two specifically you're gonna see play in one deck specifically at 4, and then this one has so much versatility. You can play in Armor Rush, Blackroar Greymon. You can play in even technically hybrids, like, having a Rapidmon hybrid with like going to a level 4, going to 2 level 4s. It's very generic. The artwork is really cool too. Just having that really side view of a terrifying monster is really cool. Magnamon here, I'm really happy. I actually have 2 copies of this. I'm trying to get playset. This is one of the ones I want a playset of. Yeah, $45, really good. It gets support in BT9. It is, again, used in stuff like some people play Imperial decks, some people play in the Armor Rush deck. It is a yellow and a blue, so you could use it technically with Rapidmon if you wanted to experiment with that. Funimon we talked about. Imperial went down to 30, 36. It went really far down, man. I think it's going to go even further down. I did trade with someone, actually. And at the time, I think it was like $40, and now it's $30, $36. We went over these. We went over here $30, $32, $26, $27. Surprisingly, look where the secret rares are. They're next to each other, middle of the page. So these are set about $20 each. With the $10 increase pretty much for this version here. Actually, we don't see. Oh wait, here it is. Never mind. Sorry, I misspoke. This is the alternate art, and we have the regular art here for Paladin mode. Surprising, because Kiribimon last week was $40. Chimeramon, $13. Box Topper. This definitely, I shout out to Mario Gaming World. Check out his channel if you haven't. But yeah, Davis Ken for $25 last week, $11 this week. Do not buy pre-sales. Shout out to him. But Magnamon over here, $10. Last week it was around $7, $8, I think. Armadillomon actually kind of seeing a maintenance of price of about $10 over here. And I think it's because there is a deck that does utilize this. I actually I'm trying to make it. It's kind of using Rapidmon and Magnamon and Digimon together, and because you get a reduced cost with Digimon, it's only 2 costs to Digivolve on, so to max rarity your deck, you can definitely try to pull those. And then what else do we have here? Creepymon regular $7. That's super disappointing. Like, now the boxes I opened feel much more worse than they were. And then we see like the Cody I've talked about. Just like kind of a lot of fallouts at like about $5 each thing. We have Davis here being about $1. We have Lightramon being about $1. A little higher, maybe $1.50. Regular copies here, Vmon 50 cents. Definitely, if you have Vmons, you can definitely sell them for a good 50 cents per copy. Yuji holding to about 18 cents. Metal Greymon about 50 cents. This set is really, I think it's definitely worth it. And I think that because there's a lot of stuff that not just use this format, but moving forward formats, we will Chimeramon, absolutely. Definitely going to keep an eye on that. And then lastly, like I said, we always take a look at our memory boosts here. So we do see some pre-release cards holding their prices over here for $12, $7 over here, but we do see the memory boost over here, and this is definitely, it was very surprising actually when I was taking a look here. Well, we do see these are the box toppers given on for BT7. So if you are looking to get BT7 now, you may actually get at least $10 of market value back. when you're picking these up, and that's because yellow uses, I think, two to three copies of yellow memory boost. Black is using it. Blue is using it. Red is using it. Everyone uses these memory boost over here. So if you don't have yours, I would definitely pick them up. But if you're looking for a cheaper alternative, keep in mind there are the ones that you got from the starter decks, which are almost $1 each. Like if you just look at these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so 50 cents to $1, and you can get, so for less than $5 you get a playset of your memory boost. The only reason is because yes, these are Digitama, they're special pack promos, and they won't be they won't be here forever. Just keep that in mind. BT7, I would say, is not going to be as open because hybrids are going to take a little bit of a backseat. So getting your playsets now would be a good idea. With that said, that's all I have for you today. I know it was a little long with our market watch. I do like to go thorough into a lot of things, and I'm still very tired from the previous day. 7 8 rounds is very exhausting. But with that said, please like and subscribe and enjoy. Have a great day. Happy Memorial Day.